Grenada branch. We extend to you this evening a warm welcome. We especially want to welcome our special invited guest, Mr. Eric Osin, CD, the illustrious members of our executive team, Mr. Donovan Brown, Mrs. Venice Van Riel, Miss Yvette DeMacardo, our most august branch managers, our Cedulus awardees, financial advisors, ladies and gentlemen, all. Welcome to this auspicious occasion. I am especially excited this evening because this function is the first of its kind for the Grenada branch. Yes. And we are super excited to have you share with us in this memorable occasion. This evening we seek to highlight those individuals who displayed exceptional work and dedication in the past year. Do have yourselves a wonderful evening.
Early years, he attended the Doheny Park Primary School and then Calabar High School.
Here, here.
Robalock.
Here, here.
Sorry, who said that?
Here, here.
I'm a fan. Let me continue, thank you. He holds a Bachelor of Business Administration degree from the University of Technology and a Master of Business Administration from Nova Southern East University. Mr. Hussein has served the insurance industry in various capacities for over 30 years. In 2018, Mr. Hussein was awarded the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander Class for his contribution to the insurance industry. Yes, go ahead, BT. Yes. He has been a Christian since the age of 15. In his spare time, Mr. Hussein enjoys gardening. He is married and has 3 daughters. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Eric Hussein.
First of all, at the table right here, luckily nobody was around when I came because I was given a good tongue lashing. How is it that you come to this place here? Eh? We've been invited to different things and you don't turn up. And then Winston asks you and you come. So I told them when I come here, I tell them why. First of all, I have a lot of respect for Winston. Him don't even know that. Even though I've been in business 30 years, and Winston may have been in it for 30, a little bit. Winston won't call a name, no number. But really, I have a lot of respect for those who have been in the industry for a long time and who have served the industry and have been industry people, not a company person, but an industry person. Other than being a comedian and a great speaker and all those other things. And the second reason, maybe the more important reason why I came, you got it right, is because he started out by telling me how about, him hearing me testify of my testimony on the radio and him say, boy, so he started with the church angle on me. and therefore, I made a commitment to the Lord several years ago that any opportunity I get to share, I'm going to share. I have a movie to show you, you see? And I ask you just to take a look at this movie.
I was 20 years old. I was at my lowest point. And then one day, and I remember the exact day, March 27th, 1975, I was helping my mother in her beauty shop. My mother owned a beauty shop up in Mount Vernon. And there was this older woman who was considered one of the elders in the town. And I didn't know her personally, but I was looking in the mirror, and every time I looked at the mirror, I could see her behind me, and she was staring at me. She just kept looking at me. Every time I looked at her, she kept giving me these strange looks. So she finally took the dryer off her head and she said something I'll never forget. First of all, she said, "Somebody give me a piece of paper. Give me a piece of paper." She said, "Young boy, I have a prophecy, a spiritual prophecy." She said, "You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." I began at Fordham University as a pre-med student. I took a course called cardiac morphogenesis. I couldn't read it, I couldn't say it, I sure couldn't pass it. So then I decided to go into pre-law, then journalism. And with no academic focus, my grades took off in their own direction. I was a 1.8 GPA one semester, and the university very politely suggested that it might be better to take some time off. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Fail big. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought. So I'm in the wings. I'm about to go on stage, but the guy in front of me, he's singing like Pavarotti, and I'm just shrinking. I'm getting smaller and smaller. So they say, "Oh, thank you very much, and you'll be hearing from us." So I come out with my little sheet music, and so I assumed I didn't get the job. But the next part of the audition, he called me back. The next part of the audition is the acting part of the audition. So I'm like, hey, okay, maybe I can't sing, but I know I can act. So they pair me with this guy, and again, I didn't know about musical theater. And musical theater is big, so they can reach everyone all the way in the back of the stadium. And I'm more from a realistic, naturalistic kind of acting where you actually talk to the person next to you. So I don't know what my line was. My line was, "Well, hand me the cup." And his line was, "Well, I will hand you the cup, my dear. The cup will be there to be handed to you." I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed. I prayed, and I prayed. But I continued to fail, and fail, and fail. But it didn't matter, because you know what? There's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. Someone talked about it. Won the Tony Award. But here's the kicker. It was at the Court Theater. It was at the same theater that I failed that first audition 30 years prior. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward.
Let me just start out properly. Masters of Ceremony, or MCs. You know what MC mean? Must chat. And certainly they know how to chat. I want to say thanks to Donovan, boy, great guy. I was reminding Donovan and Venice that the last time we had a meal together was in a different place far away. And so I want to say thanks also to Winston for his kind invitation, which I accepted, Venice. I know you know how to get me to come. So I'm here this evening not as the president of Guardian Life. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm here as the deacon of the Church of the Open Bible, 12 Washington Boulevard, because every Christian needs an open Bible. You heard I was supposed to be a priest, right? But yeah, because I used to be a Catholic, I was an altar server of the year for the entire island. Man. So the nuns used to go to my mother, boy, we're looking forward to Eric joining the priesthood, So Donovan, you'd have to come and say, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I'm saying, Donovan, come out to you, you sinner. But my friends, I want to say, thanks to Donovan and the Chancellor team. Boy, Chancellor has been an amazing friend of Guardian, not a business associate, an amazing friend of Guardian, and we really, really appreciate it. We appreciate it so much that I would walk into a place where there's the Grenada branch, Top of Tops branch, selling for the I'm come talk to you. But friends, it's such a delight and a real pleasure of mine to have the opportunity to come and share with you. And so, as Steve invited the deacon, I want to say my topic this evening is living with purpose and passion. And you can see that coming out of Denzel Washington and his thing. And Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says, God is saying to us, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So God himself has a plan for your life. Do you have a plan for your life? For yourself, for your family? Is there a plan? For me, that plan is what God has for me and my family. If you don't have a plan with passion and purpose, then my friend, you are like a bottle drifting on the ocean. Drifting and just going. You don't even know where you're going, and nobody knows where you're going and where you will end up. You're like the leaf blowing in the wind. People see you moving, but you really don't. You don't know where you're going, and they don't know. I grew up in the insurance business. I used to sell insurance. I sold insurance for 3 years, and I remember what they right myself. And I know that one of the things I learned first thing about insurance, they said, look here, if you become a salesman, you must be like an eagle, not a yard fowl. Because an eagle soars, but a yard fowl flap up and flap back down. And so you must be like an eagle. So as Denzel says, don't just aspire to make a living, aspire to make a difference in the lives of others. One of the major things that will prevent purpose and passion is laziness. I don't like lazy people. Car always broke down and all of the things. It says, as Denzel said, ease, maybe it missed you, so I was trying to remind you some of the nuggets he shared. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. When things too easy, nobody not try. There's no progress. Hardship, difficulties, challenges, and so you talk about press along saints. Drives passion, creativity, and purpose. Insurance selling hard. And those who come into it because they can't find other work, you make a bad mistake, you run into the wrong house. It's a hard work, but whole heap of benefits. Hard work, as he says, is what successful people do. I remember the days when I was selling insurance. Let me tell you something, man. Insurance nice, Let me tell you why. I left it because I had a plan for my life that I felt the Lord was calling me to. But I only went into insurance because I went there and applied in mutual life for a marketing job, and they said, look here, you can't come into this department unless you have sales experience. So I applied and went into sales for 3 years. Let me tell you, man, the first paycheck I get, Winston, after, they call it now? Yes, pre-contract. It was more than my gross pay. my first paycheck. Annual leave I'm talking. My wife said, no sir, they must make mistake. That can't write. But I know that insurance selling was hard work because I remember the days, you know, people said go them sit down and have their lunch and they chat with each other and all that. Look here man, it's a red light, me a big final. Lord, give me a red light. So I can shovel down like couple scoops of food in my mouth. Because I head to another appointment. And the family likes the boy that's strange. When I sit down having a lunch and chew 32 times and make sure you chit chat and you talk about the life challenges and all of that. Well, I did have it hard. I love it hard. If life was easy, there would be no need for working. Because it's not easy. Life is difficult. So all what talk about boy life hard, from your born life hard, from me born life hard because guess what? When we go to school at primary school at Grenada Park, I go there mainly, my main focus Donovan was to ramp. And me have to go to class. That is hard, you know. That's not easy, Winston. Some of you don't even understand what hard life is. I know my father used to go off like a 6-month Marcel and then come back home. And it was a farm work in Gampon. Right? Him just turn up back and be a father again. But my mother was a professional baby producer. 9 of us and 2 miscarriage. Right? So what she did? She right at Maxi, right at Barnsley. It's a tenement yard we live in, you know. It's like about 4 houses in that yard. But what she did, she got permission from the landlord to pave a little section at the front that she used to rent out to the sound system man and play a part dance. The end of a matter is better than the beginning. Because that is so true. It's not where you come from, it's where you're going. And many of us don't want nobody knows that Jubilee was born. Oh, I was born in Kingston. Under the clock. Which clock? The clock that they are Jubilee. Jubilee is a factory. A real factory. And no people don't want to know where them come from. They want them children to believe that where they are now is where them born and grow in Norfolk and Cherry Gardens. You know, they don't want to tell people say about Tivoli and Arnett and Trenchtown and Rosetown and all them places them come from. You know, out of East. No sir. But my friends, you need to tell and let them know, because if you don't, they will begin to think that life is so easy, they're not going to work hard. Don't confuse activity with progress. Because when I was a little boy, you go up on a little rocking chair. We never had a rocking chair, yeah, but if you go in the body house and have a rocking chair, you rock out in daylight. Because it's sweet. Look here. I remember one day I go Bank of Jamaica, a trip to Bank of Jamaica. Look here, man. Me never see elevator in my life. And me see the thing open. And me going in to the teacher. Then my friend them look around and then the door opens at a different place to look on. I go up a little bit more than another and a different place. I say, what is this? You know, the teacher can't find me after that. We are right up and down the elevator. Bank of Jamaica, Grenada Park Primary School. Grenada Park Primary School went to I was called to the bar. Only because my brother was there. And my mother was right, you know, she kind of worried about me because of all her children, I was the only one who never passed common entrance. But I was really trying to pass anyway, so. Looks and things. But I'll go back to the thing about confusing activity with progress, because when you're in a rocking chair, you may be doing a lot of activity. But really, where you're heading, you're going nowhere. So you may get confused between activity and progress. And so in life, some people are very busy, busybody. But where is the result? You know, one time when I went up in school, they used to tell you, oh, you know, we pay for effort. And they used to tell you that, you know, make an effort. Make an effort on the pass the exam and wake up. You can't trick up your children and tell them to buy effort. Effort without results is a waste of time. People don't like to hear that, you know, because people like to tell you, oh, you're trying so hard, you're trying, it's good to try, and you know, you must put on powder them Marcel and tell them, you know, and I can't say it now because nobody from Garden is here, yeah? And Marcel them can't say that because, you know, say, you know, you're not caring, you're not, my friend, if you ever trick up your people and tell them about effort and no result, you are going to doom them to failure. They won't even get half, because they don't even know how to get half. Because she said, boy, people should I get even half, not get nothing on me, or get half. Grace and mercy. But I'm saying to you that effort without results is waste of time. Friends, as I close, mind the gap in your life. Mind the gap. Those of you may have got, anybody go England from here? Anybody go England? Anybody go England? Yeah man, yeah man. You know, mind the gap, right? Mind the gap. Stand clear of the door, please. There's a gap in people's lives, you see, that I keep telling people. There's a gap between what you want to achieve and what you're comfortable with. Some people tell the boy, you know, them come in Mars and tell, oh, you know, if you're in Kingston, I want a house in Havendale, I want something in Cherry Gardens and all of that. But they are comfortable renting a house, a quad. They will never own a house. They will continue to rent because they are comfortable in the rent house. Let me tell you something. Renting, ask Donovan, you know about that? Renting make one man richer and one poorer. I don't tell you who is the poorer and who is going to be the richer. You ask Donovan. In Donovan, the truth. Renting make one man poorer and one richer. And if you are so kind to make one man another man richer, you will have some passion and purpose about the goals you have. Don't just come in and talk about them. Boy, I want my children to go to the school and but you are comfortable with them where they are. You are comfortable. And that's the gap a lot of people have in life. They go to their grave with that gap. The gap between what they want and them speak passionately about it and the boy, I really want it. But they are comfortable where they are. They will never leave where they are. Never. I've never seen it. This year I'm 62, Donovan. You're a big man. So them say, because you're over 55 years old age. And I've never seen anybody who have a passion and purpose achieve it if they are comfortable with where they are. My friends, lastly, don't aspire to make a living, but aspire to make a difference. A difference in the lives of your family, a difference in your life, a difference in the life of society. Don't come to this world and make it any worse or leave it the same way. Make a difference. Be kind, be courteous, be willing to share. Even if you're a top producer, you need to be kind. You need to be caring. True joy comes from self-recognition of the accomplishment of helping others. My friends, God's richest blessings to you and the team, and I encourage you to continue to work with passion and purpose to make a difference. Thank you very much again. God bless you.
Fail big, but never quit. Don't try to fall back. Fall forward. Faith. And that is why we're here this evening, because we have some persons who were passionate and purposeful, who were committed and consistent. And so we are celebrating them tonight. We will invite to greet us at this time our President and CEO, Mr. Donovan Brown.
Master of ceremony, recognize the guy. Good? Specially invited guests, VP, Marcel and Adam Shirley, the creative director, HR, and fellow CIA agents. CIA. Now you know that last 2 years has been a very challenging time, and having done what you do at Grenada branch during the last year was it's toughest year for us. In fact, 2020 we had a very good year. 2020 we make a profit. 2021 we make a loss. So, and funny enough, the banks called me in 2020 when I didn't need the money, but they didn't call me in 2021. Life is so, we'll make a lot. So I'm saying to you, those who have done well for 2021, I want to say well done. So it was challenging, it was tough. It was a month that we literally was 1 month locked. As what Bob Marley's song, No Woman No Cry. He says that everything is going to be alright. But everything is never going to be alright. The life is a process of challenges, and we'll have to be prepared to deal with all those challenges. So as we go into the next phase, an adjustment, as what we talk about, it has to be purposeful and full of passion as we recover. We can't just recover with a normal reset. It has to be a concerted effort to achieve this success this year. It has to be double effort, triple effort to get the result that we wanted. And notwithstanding what is happening in the world, I'm going to give you a number of things that is happening in the world today. Russia, war, the IMF cuts global growth forecast to 3.6. Pandemic, inflation, no crime. Guyana outperforms all economies throughout the world last year. Amazon had 5% fuel and inflation surcharge. Financial education more relevant now in post-pandemic era. Improve ease of doing business online. Improve ease of doing business is now better than ever. You must make pension planning a part of financial wellness conversation. So when you're doing when you talk about financial wellness, pension must be a part of your planning now. UK inflation rises at the fastest pace in 30 years. So a lot of things is happening. But I'm telling you all of those things that you're aware of what is happening in the world. So you have to reset your mind, you have to face the challenge as what Eric would have said in terms of passion. I always have a little thing that nothing great ever achieved without enthusiasm. And if you don't have the enthusiasm and passion and purpose this year, you're not going to achieve the greatness that you want. I'm saying it that we are now in a precarious position in terms of where we are as a company or as a country. So how we get out of that is doubling our effort. So we expect come next year, come this year, Erica, as the year goes by, and Ellie, Grenada branch is now 2 branches in one. Eric, we have separated, we have 2 branches comes out of that branch. So what we do, we rationalize the branch in terms of when the senior executive branch managers decide to take a different direction on me, Mr. Bennett. So we rationalize it and have Eileen as one of the branch managers and Erica as one of the branch managers. So let's hope both of you, with the prior warriors in this branch, the branch that is so, with a branch that is highly, have God in its meat. Marcel, you have to get some prior warriors in Mandeville because with what I'm seeing, you can't beat them. So with what I'm seeing now, Erica and Eileen coming out of the Grenada branch is set for greatness. So Mr. Bennett, I am proud of you. I am feeling happy for you. You must be feeling very happy having finished so well. Before I finish, I want to leave you with this Zig Ziglar quote. Outstanding people have one thing in common, an absolute sense of mission. So ladies and gentlemen, all the best for the rest of the year.
We will now hear from the lady herself, our VP, Group Sales and Distribution, Mrs. Venice Van Rel. Let's welcome her.
Chairpersons, Madam Patricia and Tiffany, President and CEO, Mr. Donovan Brown, HR Manager, Ms. Yvette DeMercado, Executive Branch Manager, Mr. Winston Bennett, Branch Managers, Mrs. Erica Lee Forbes, Mrs. Eileen Francis, all members of the Grenada and Portmore branches, specially invited managers from out of town. You're brave to have journeyed here this evening. Madam Shirley, Mr. Reed, I see you. And Mrs. Spirit, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Day one, last year, the Grenada branch was on top. You showed the rest of the team that despite the challenges, that it could be done. Grenada branch led in January. They led in February. They led in March. They led in, my God, they led in July. Oh, you know it like that because you skipped June. Ocho Rios took June, yes? They led again in August. They missed September. Trafalgar branch took September. They led again in October. And then the lady from Mandeville said, no, I am going to finish the year strong. November and December went to Mandeville. But 8 out of 12 months, the Grenada branch led the way. And in these 8 months, Mr. Bennett never skipped a beat. He could be seen every month by my office to tell me how much, what was the percentage of the branch's contribution to the company. You know that I'm speaking truth, right? He would come around there and he's so unassuming. Because you'd come around like he's going to share an idea with you. Or a joke. And then the next thing you know, Mrs. Van Reel, Grenada branch did 30%, We're not bragging or anything, but we just... Mr. Winston Bennett. We saw the Grenada branch move its production from 78 million in 2019 to 91 million in 2020. And then to 130 million at our 15th year anniversary awards. The Grenada branch was crowned the branch of the year and received the coveted President's Trophy. The branch, yes, clap, Mandeville clapping the loudest. But she had to send up the trophy. The branch also copped the Vice President's Trophy for the top API and also the Policy Delivery Cup. Congratulations to the Grenada branch. Of course, without fail, after the awards, Mr. Bennett showed up at my office to say that he's having a little problem. He really doesn't have space for all of these trophies in his office. The Grenada branch produced the company's Rookie of the Year for 2021, Mrs. Cheryl Hines Evans, who also qualified for the $1 Million Roundtable. The branch also produced the Joint ILD Administrator of the Year, Ms. Shauna K. Brown. Grenada branch has also nurtured other exceptional talent, some neophytes in this space. We're talking about people like Ainsley Ferguson, Michelle Brooks, Luke Anderson, people like Kelmar, who is one of the upcoming stars, yes? And others, many others in the branch. We see the potential, yes? Melissa Thompson, Mr. Brown highlighted Melissa, but we really have to say congratulations to Melissa. MDRT qualifier, she ended the year with conservation of 95%, and she might be the lady of this evening, but this is not the award segment yet, yes? So congratulations to Melissa on a job well done. I want to also recognize the unit managers for the Grenada branch. Madam Patricia, Madam Vivet, who was online earlier, Madam Adeja, Laurel, you spoiled the madam thing now, eh? Mr. Laurel Smith, eh? And of course, the branch managers, who as you heard earlier from Mr. Brown, they have taken over the leadership of the Portmore and the Grenada branch. And yes, Mr. Brown, you're absolutely right, because the new Grenada branch is at $10 million this month. That's a big deal, Erica Lee, folks. I congratulate you, Mr. Bennett, for the work that you have done with the Grenada branch, sir. The branch has exemplified that not only in the area of production you are great, but also the way you celebrate each other, the way you participate in team activities. And I'm talking about things like Christmas decoration. I'm talking about your pixie party. You're indeed a Vibes Ranch, yes? So congratulations. To close out, and we have our creative director here. Mr. Brown, it looked like a peek at my notes, you know. But to close out, if Mr. Bennett should ever write a book, the title of it would be How to Finish in Style. And these are some of the tips I'm sure you'd share in that book. Number 1, surround yourself with ladies who fuss about you daily and want to make you proud. And if they have names like Erica and Patricia and Eileen, you know you're in a good place, right? You get the picture. The better. If they have those names, Mr. Bennett, the better. Number 2, be humble. But it's okay to brag a little if you win. I'm sure that's tip number 2 for Mr. Bennett. Be humble, but it's okay to brag a little if you're winning, yes? Number 3, be cheerful. A story or 2 is always useful. And number 4, always give thanks. I thank you, Grenada Branch, for a lovely 2021. Keep doing what you're doing. And I hope that the 2 managers will take these tips wherever you go, across the waters or here in Kingston, and be just as great as your former branch manager of the Grenada branch. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
It's time to welcome a very special gentleman. But I'm thankful that Mr. Hussin Tiller that MCs have to talk a lot, because I talk a lot. I remember when I was doing my training and I heard that the teacher's name was Bennett. I was like, yes. Favor. I'm gonna use my last name now as a little catch. So if I'm gonna pass the test, I remember I'm a Bennett, right? But immediately, that was one of the first things that Mr. Bennett pointed out. He said, oh, Bennett, good thing that man, I love it. And ever since then, it has been such a pleasure and an honor to be in his presence. I am coming from an environment that is, your manager's office is not somewhere that you visit frequently. As a matter of fact, when you pass quietly like you pass in the Dean of Discipline's office, because my manager was very, very strict. So when I saw the approach Mr. Bennett was taking, honestly, I have to start calling people and I say, I don't think that place here know what management is about, because if he's so kind to the staff, how you must smile with the staff, he would see us sitting down and say, hi, how you doing? How is everything? I'm not used to that, so I'm like, what is he doing? I wonder if it's a catch. I don't want to watch me deep, you know? But Mr. Bennett has remained consistent. He is very kind, very loving, very helpful. And even, again, I don't know how you keep some of the things in that brain of yours. Because Mr. Bennett even called me on my birthday to wish me happy birthday. I was like, what you mean you're calling me? Little me, just come here. But I'm so thankful, so thankful. And so at this time, I'm gonna ask you to stand with me and put your hands together to make welcome Mr. Bennett as he comes to make greetings to us. Put your hands together for Mr. Bennett, everybody. I can almost call him King Grandpa, because he's my grandfather, Bennett.
Mr. Donovan Brown, President and CEO, and all the distinguished guests here today, because everybody here is very, very distinguished. And ladies and gentlemen, when the Grenada branch looks back at 2021, the verb rejoice jumps into my spirit, rejoice. You know, back in my time, we used to do Latin at school. And some English words have a Latin base. And rejoice as the Latin base comes from the Latin word audere. And it means to feel or show great joy or delight. It speaks of a feeling of gladness, to experience joy in a very high degree. It clearly captures our feeling at this Grenada Branch Award ceremony. In 2021, the Grenada branch settled Mrs. Van Reed said it's 130 million. It's actually 130 million, 128,990. Highest in Chancellor, and 41% above that of the previous year. Looking back, I see where we effected what I'm going to call the Shellyan plan. The Shellyan plan. That's Shellyan.
Yes.
Her plan is to burst out of those blocks with lightning speed and move so fast that you can't catch her again for the rest of the way. And that's what we followed, because come January, we literally jumped out of the blocks like a bolt of lightning and stayed ahead of the competition. As a matter of fact, by the month of May, we were so far ahead of the competition that at one stage we felt like we were running solo, you know? Don't you have that feeling where you're running and you look to the left and you look to the right and you say, where is everybody?
We're getting closer and closer to the special time this evening, but before we get there, we're going to invite at this time Miss Chantel Coombs, who is going to come and sing lovely, lovely, lovely melody in our ears. Put your hands together for Chantel, everyone.
We've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe. Somehow you will. You will when you believe. Now in this time of fear, when prayer so often proves in vain, hope seems like the summer bird too swiftly flown away. Now I am standing here, my heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I've never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe. Somehow you will. You will when you believe. They don't always happen when you ask.
That Miss Melissa.
And it's easy to give in to your feelings. straight through the rain. A small but still resilient voice says love is very near. Oh, miracles, though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracle?
First, I would like to thank Miss Claudette Wellington Grant, Mrs. Claudette Wellington Grant. She gave a great prayer, right? We all felt it. We also would like to thank our CEO and President, Mr. Donovan Brown, and our Vice President, Mrs. Van Rio, who despite their busy schedule, took the time out to come and grace us with their presence, right? And of course, we know it's book closed. We thank our President and CEO, Mr. Brown, for the warm, heartfelt greeting and the kind words, right? We are also thankful for our very talented singers, Miss Chantel Coons and Ricardo Dixon, who entertained us this evening. A special thank you to our guest speaker, Mr. Eric Housen, who carved out of his special time, busy time rather, to come and give us a special message to tell us about the challenges that we would face and how we can stay abreast and move forward despite our many challenges we face. Yes. We also appreciate the Chancellor managers who are in attendance. Today is books closed, so we know the sacrifice you're making and to be here with us this evening. Thanks must go out to our charming MC, Patricia Martin Baker, and Tiffany Bennett Allen, who enthusiastically pollited us this evening with their proceedings. Finally, we want to thank you, the ladies and gentlemen in attendance, who has cheered us on, and the awardees who have been attentive and who has made this a delightful